Hey, so I made a last-minute spontaneous decision to go archery hunting for elk the other day. Hastily threw all my stuff into the SUV. It was scattered throughout the garage. I had my survival pack on a shelf. My mountain bike was hanging on one side of the garage and my bow on the other. Camo clothes in a tub, boots in the corner. An hour later, I arrived at my hunting spot full of anticipation and excitement for the hunt. I changed into my camo clothes, threw on my boots, sprayed myself down with scent killer, threw on my backpack, grabbed my bow and my arrows. I left them sitting in the corner in the garage. How am I supposed to harvest an elk without an arrow? I was prepared for a walk in the woods, but not for a hunt. That was pretty bad for an Eagle Scout who memorized the Scout motto, "Be prepared." Kind of pitiful for a former Marine who was trained in the art of warfare and survival. Pretty embarrassing for a hunter to be caught out in the woods without any arrows. And so after the irritation wore off, I asked myself the question, God, what lesson might I learn from you in this situation of being unprepared? And I thought of the words of 1 Peter 3:15. And if someone asks you about your hope as a believer, always be ready, be prepared to explain it. I reflected on that. People all around us in the world are hunting and searching, hungry for truth and for hope. And if someone asks me about my hope as a believer, I want to be prepared, don't you? How? I'm thinking of the words of Hebrews chapter 4 that say that the Bible is alive and powerful, living and active, sharper than the sharpest two-edged sword. And I suppose for me a two-edged arrow is an appropriate image. And I want the quiver of my heart full and sharp through things like worship and prayer and authentic community and studying and reading the scriptures, not leaving my Bible in the corner on a shelf. So, Jesus, help us to keep the quivers of our heart full of you, sharp with your truth, pointed arrows that we can share with those in the world that are hungry for hope.